into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello, AfterBuzzers! Welcome to another UnREAL After Show. I'm your host, Sam Davidson. If you guys haven't done so already, please go on iTunes, YouTube, SoundCloud, rate, review, subscribe. We really appreciate hearing your feedback. We are discussing Season 1, Episode 10, titled Future. It's the season finale of UnREAL. I have two of my amazing co-hosts here with me this evening. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, that's Nick Grava. Nick, how you doing?
Good, doing good. You guys can follow me at Nicholas Grava, Twitter and Instagram. What?
You were supposed to get me back.
Why? I want them to follow me more than I'd like to get you.
I'm Bobby DeMuro. Don't follow me on Twitter at Bobby DeMuro. This is great. This is a wonderful start.
You guys are being extremely feisty tonight. I feel like I've intruded on someone's slumber party. So here I am. Yeah, good job, guys. All right, guys, you know I love you. I love them, kind of. We have a pretty freaking awesome, I think, episode. I heard these two talking before the show. They disagreed.
Whoa.
No, we'll put it out there. No. Jump the bus. We'll put it out there. We'll talk about it. Yeah.
Buses don't jump.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Whatever that means.
All right.
Say that.
All right, guys. Well, then let's say Sam thought it was pretty awesome. I can speak for myself here. Overall, let's give some opening thoughts. The episode season finale / season. What would you guys think? Would you guys recommend this to someone? How do you feel about that?
You know what? Honestly, the more I think about it, I didn't hate it at all. I would have preferred if Faith had won, as we have established on the show. I didn't hate it at all. I mean, it's fine that she didn't win. But look, this show, it appeals to a weird group of people because the people who really watch reality TV, and we all know them, most of them, you're probably an exception because you're a Bachelor person, most of them don't want to see the inner workings of reality. They want to believe the lie. They know it's not true, but they want that lie. They want to believe the reality thing, and they're not as into scripted, and I know I'm generalizing. The people who watch scripted don't want the reality feel, and so this show probably crosses over too much for them, even though it's a scripted program. So it's a weird sort of middle line in between these two demographics. The ratings, I think, reflected that, unfortunately. It got a season 2. The ratings never did great. It was on Lifetime. That's part of it. It's on Monday nights. That's part of it. And then the show itself, if we're going to talk about themes on the show, the first 6-7 episodes were interesting. Mary dies, and I think things start going not downhill, but the shark gets jumped a little bit, or the bus, whatever we're using.
The end? So you didn't like the end of the season?
I think the last couple episodes, I was like, everybody's backstabbing everybody's doing everything. It was almost too much at that point.
I think I have an opposite feeling where I loved the first episode. Second, third, fourth, things were starting to feel repetitive. So I was like, okay, what's going on here? But then once things started happening, I think each episode felt like a completely new show and went in different plot lines. I started to like it more towards the end. Like the finale tonight, something I didn't see. I just wouldn't have thought that was any of this stuff was going to be happening, and the way it all played out, and the wedding, the live wedding being produced, loved it all. So once we got away from that, same repetitive feel, I really liked it towards the end. In the beginning I did have that same kind of like, what's going on here? Is this going to be just every week? Might as well watch The Bachelor if I'm going to watch this.
Yeah.
That's an amazing point. I think you said some super interesting things, Bobby.
That's what I do.
I hate to admit it, but you really did have some good points, with the exception of, I think that it was kind of placed very well. As far as where it was weekly, it was right after The Bachelorette would air. And Lifetime is really just dipping their foot in the water here, and they're about to dive in. I mean, I have read a lot of articles, watched a lot of interviews with all of them, and this is their Breaking Bad, is what they've tried to say.
Wow. Oh, boy. Yeah. No offense to it. I like it a lot, but if this is their Breaking Bad...
Listen, don't try... What Lifetime does, and they do it very well. they are one of the only people to do it, and I think they are breaking new ground with every new show they come out with. So I have nothing but good things to say.
And Lifetime does, and Lifetime's tongue-in-cheek about their own movies. They know why you watch Lifetime movies. Y'all know why you watch Lifetime movies. It ain't for the acting and the storyline. It's for the train wreck of the thing, right?
Did we not see the trending movie with Will Ferrell and Kristen Wiig?
I'm not saying it's not successful.
Yeah.
No, I know. I'm saying, but it was kind of that same thing. Everyone was questioning, like, were they serious? Were they not? Was it a satire? Whatever it was trending, and everyone was talking about it.
That is true. And this show definitely blurs that line. But I don't think ever in this show we have felt like that's really, I mean, we've thought this is too much, maybe, but not like this is just cheesy and whatever. Like, very small moments. Yeah. But I think generally we've done a great job. Before we get started recapping the finale, let's hear a special message from one of our sponsors.
Yeah, so guys, we got a little special message for you guys here at AfterBuzz. Nick was too scared to do this because it is a big responsibility, so I'll take it on.
Big words.
That's what I do. But no, seriously, to keep the lights on here, to keep the shows rolling here, we do use sponsors and partners. We have great relationships with companies and things like that. One of those is Mazda. So, question for you, Nick, I'll interview you about this. Does driving matter to you?
Yes.
It should, because you're in LA. Driving with the windows down, I know you do that. The wind blowing through your hair, you have a little bit of hair.
It's getting longer.
The smell of pine trees, maybe not in LA, but fresh asphalt, for sure. You look forward to these moments when it's just you and the road, no distractions, that does not sound like LA, handling every curve and feeling every nuance in the road. So ask yourself, Nick Grava, does driving matter to you?
Absolutely.
100%. If it does, we build cars just for you, because to us, driving matters. That's Mazda. So there you go. And it does. Thank you very much, Mazda, for all their support for this entire season of UnREAL.
Yeah.
How many times every week, man, their entire season, their sponsorship.
Yeah,
so
big
shout out
thanks
to
to
them.
them.
Yeah.
Bobby, I might just cry that it might be the last time I've heard you say that.
Woo! You and me both.
Wow. That is real. That's a real emotion.
It's unreal, yeah.
Also, another pro to the whole show just overall has been meeting the cast every week. We've had a lot of the cast in on this show, and everyone has been super nice. They're really talented, especially in the last episode. We've seen the real, chops coming out in this, and I really have to say, across the board, very talented actors on this show.
Yeah, me too. I just personally, and all of you guys, I want to thank every single actor that has been on the show. We've been really lucky. There's been 10 episodes, 5 out of 10. We've gotten some of the leads on the show, and it's been awesome. I hope you guys have enjoyed it as much as we have. Let's start with Rachel and Jeremy this evening. Rachel decides to wake up and change her mind as to what she wants to do. She leaves bed with Jeremy, leaves him a very cryptic note, and goes to meet Adam at, it's like Gossip Girl all over again. Like, she's going on a private jet flying away.
Yeah, the plane's waiting, stewardess outside waiting for it all. I'm like, wow, homie got this real quick.
Exactly. And
is that really the words that you said?
Yeah, I did in my head.
You literally said, homie.
That's how my head talks. It's like, wow, homie got this real quick. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. We had a conversation sometimes. But really, come on. He didn't know that she was going to be sneaking out, or was he just going off of what he was thinking? He was sneaking away, and whether she was coming or not, that was another thing? Or how was this arranged so quickly?
I mean, I get...
No, it was understood. He knew exactly why she was there, and he had to let her down. That was
I'm saying before that, did he know she was going to show up the next morning? 'Cause she didn't even know. She went to bed with Jeremy. That's what I'm saying. I
think we can assume that he knew. I think
was he just going no matter what? He was leaving.
Well,
that's what I couldn't tell.
I think they both. Well, what happened? What ended up happening, because he had to let her down, I think he knew she was going to show up, and he had to let her down, so he showed up to let her down. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So he showed up because he was like, I have to have this conversation. I have to go back. What am I supposed to do? But I can't just not show up to the damn plane.
Right.
So I have to see what's going to happen. And he wanted to have it out all episode. He wanted to have the conversation out with her all episode. And then a couple scenes later, she's like, oh, no, we're good. Yeah. We're cool. Yeah. And he's like, we are? So he wanted to have that convo. She didn't want to have it until, the shit hit the fan. Yeah. But...
Well, I feel as though as much as Adam is a douchebag, he felt as though he needed to go there to tell her, welcome, you can't come on the plane. We're not going anywhere. And at least he didn't just not show up.
I think he was ready to go with her until Quinn intervened.
Oh, he was. I totally think so.
He had the bag packed. And then Quinn, said whatever she said, produced the situation.
And I mean, and so that's, Adam walks out and he's ready to go, and Quinn stops him which is just a very, right place, right time.
Yeah.
If she wasn't there, he would have gone and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, the whole show would have been different. As much as I love this show, it's like, as life, the slightest change could kind of affect the outcome.
Absolutely.
And this is a perfect example of that. So Rachel gets dumped, blah, blah, blah. It's pretty unfortunate because we see her for the first time with her guard down. Like, really down.
Right. Finally actually listening to her emotions and taking a risk of something, not for the job, but for her personal love life, and doing this and, like, committing to one of these people, leaving Jeremy, leaving that note. What did it say? I don't deserve you? Is that what the note said?
Or it said, I don't deserve you, !
Yeah. Which then later on when he tries to play things coy with, I'm like, Jeremy, what are you trying to do?
Jeremy, that hurts so bad. Yeah. Well, as Adam, comes back into the equation, he comes back to set, him and Quinn have another conversation in which it's like, fine, whatever, it's not going to happen. I will do what you want as long as the wedding can be in London and I'll have my royal renovations thing. And, they make this agreement. So Quinn says, okay, fine, we can do the wedding in London. Awesome. And they move on. And then Quinn, of course, says need to apologize to Anna, whom he had left in bed, naked, alone, scared, and sad.
Yeah,
feeling very insecure.
Listen, one of the things I will say that started to get annoying in the show was the girls constantly, being head over heels with him right after he would do a quick apology. It's like by the end of the thing, we started to see some of the girls get the game and understand what's going on. So I would also think that they would get this stuff and not buy into the, oh no, he just went for a walk to clear his mind. Like, yeah, he took a lot of his stuff, but no, it's just no, you gotta be put up and be like, listen, I know what you did, I know what you're trying to do, but like, today's a new day, and that's fine, because we both want something out of this. But for them to now still be like, oh, he said sorry, I don't believe that at this point. We you know what I mean? Things have changed.
Should have picked Grace. I agree with you 100%. Should have picked Grace.
Yeah, if not Faith. If Faith ain't here, Grace.
Faith had the perfect TV love life thing because she wasn't actually into him. Grace had the perfect TV love life thing because she was going to play the game herself. And then you've got Anna, who's still kind of maybe into this until the very end when she finds out what the motives are. Should have picked Grace.
Love that too. Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Should have picked Grace or Faith, obviously.
Wow.
How about the interaction though with Chet and Quinn right outside?
About the drugs?
When I didn't know what he was, because this is the first time we would seen him reacting to the information he had. So I was like, how is he going to play this? I was really excited to see that.
And he played it like a frickin' idiot. He was just like,
yeah.
That was his response to all of it, right? Just play dumb until something happens.
I think it was play dumb until he locks it down, which he did when she went in her office. And at that point, he did have her in a corner.
Yeah.
He did. I mean, it was working what he was doing.
Well, let's get into that. So basically, Quinn goes back to her office ready to fart and slay. And
ready to what?
She farted and then she slayed is what happened to Quinn.
I've never heard that phrase.
Yeah.
Or the real one. I've never heard it.
Me, you know what? I've just created something. So she was ready to fart and slay, and she goes into her office, and she has Chet and Madison and Dr. Wagerstein. They're waiting for her to confront her. And Chet's just sitting on the couch like, oh, I don't care. Whatever. It annoyed me so much.
It annoys me, but in a way, I still have this weird sort of... I never liked Chet throughout this. Like, you would always be Team Chet about... Not Team Chet, but you kind of thought he was an entertaining part of the show.
I see the brilliance in Chet.
He got under my skin. One thing I do have to give him is at no point did he get... like vicious with her in a way of being like, the wedding's off. Like he still wanted to keep like...
No, but this is the thing. It's Chet is the most evil because it's not vicious. That's the problem.
It's just
because it's totally under the surface.
I guess that's
it's the shark attack under the surface you never see coming. It's Chet. You mentioned it. Chet, like he went through the whole scene. Duh. Well, yeah, on the surface he did. Because he wants to be the doofus. He wants to be the guy doing drugs. Hey, that'd be a great way to die. With the dog. Hey, I've got a dog here now.
Why has he had a dog the whole season? The question I've always been what? What relevance? Okay, move on. But
well, and he's
baffling
obsessed
to
with
me.
it going to the bathroom as well. Like, it's very nice.
But that's part of the thing with Chet, is that the Chet we see is doofy Chet, and he's dumpy, and he's goofy, and he's stupid, and he doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know how to direct. We saw that tonight or last night or whatever. He has no idea what he's doing. But then when it gets really, really serious with Quinn, he doesn't push her. He doesn't pull shit around. He goes and gets what he needs to go and get. He farts and then he slays.
Yeah, he's a farting slayer.
Whatever that means, that's what he does. And he does this, and then Quinn doesn't have another option, right? And so Chet does this. He brings in Dr. Wagerstein and Madison. He goes to Brad, whatever the network executive's name is, and then Quinn's like, I'm out. Like, not that I have an option. He played me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
the most evil.
But Quinn is about to surrender. But then she speaks to Rachel, who comes in and says, A, screw you for trying to blackmail me. So not cool. Very glad that Rachel, brought it up because she's been doing it the entire season. And B, you messed up my relationship with Adam. I'm sure you said some really messed up stuff. I will forgive you if we can kind of work together for Rachel to create her killer finale. And after that, Quinn reveals what's been going on with her to Rachel. And I loved Rachel's reaction after Quinn tells her that Madison and Chet, had their little rendezvous in the truck.
Yep.
It's just a laugh. I mean, it's funny. It's messed up.
No, but it's parallels. That's what happened to Quinn 15 years ago.
Yeah.
That's the parallel. And this is where it went off the rails for me, because this was backstab upon backstab upon backstab. Chet backstabbed Quinn, who backstabbed Chet, and Quinn then backstabbed Rachel, but Rachel's trying to backstab Quinn, but Adam backstabbed Rachel, and then Rachel backstabs Jeremy, and then later on Jeremy's going to backstab. It got to be too much, and I know you don't want to do just, one storyline or whatever at the end, and you want to end with a flourish, and that's fine, and they did. But at one point I'm looking at this and I'm like, it's too soap opera-y.
Okay, the drama it pulled you out having that many.
It didn't do the season justice to have, and this hasn't been happening for a couple episodes, but it really hit it hard this episode. It didn't do the season justice to get this episode where everybody's backstabbing each other, and then both Quinn and Rachel completely fall apart over men. Nobody's saying Quinn and Rachel are protagonists. Nobody's saying that they're necessarily strong characters, but they've always been fiercely independent while struggling with relationships. Today, they both kind of fell over men, and I'm sitting here like, that's not entirely consistent with their character for 9 episodes.
I'm going to say this, and I want to know if you agree or what you think about this, is I think the reason you may feel this way, or the reason it comes across this way, is because at this point, when they were filming this, they didn't know that they were going to get a season 2. And a lot of times I think they try to wrap it all up at the end. Even with storylines like, okay, they work on a show about love, we need to have them fall in, we need to have all these different things. I think if they went in knowing they had a season extended in the mid-season, they would have probably let some of this go. And I think that could be... you're right. I think a lot of stuff did happen tonight that could have been spanned across a whole season and been more interesting the way they would have wrote. Do you agree, or what do you think?
I actually really agree with what you said. I think it's an amazing point, but also I think the point that was trying to be made by the 2 creators of the show is that these women actually were there for each other. And it's, kind of a Sex and the City-esque, you're my soulmate. Like, not
what
these
crappy
guys.
soulmates.
Yeah, but they're like freaking perfect for each other. I mean, they woke up in bed next to each other and it's like, hey, crazy. Like, it's a little scary.
Yeah.
I think that at the end of the day, both of their relationships by the end of the first season were supposed to be blown up. And
For sure.
Yeah, like weren't ever gonna work out.
Just for lines that were like, I fell for what we were selling here. I bought what we were selling. Like, just for that line alone is like why you would write that whole storyline, because it's a cliche and it's a parallel and it's needed, I guess, at the end of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So what ends up happening is, of course, Jeremy reads this note at the beginning of the episode that we discussed. He's not an idiot. It's there in his bed in a nice little envelope. Rachel expected to never return, be all cryptic, but hey, there she was at work the next day.
Looking like hell.
Yeah, looking like she had just been run over by a car and a whale at the same time. She'd been crying. It's been terrible. Jeremy, who's been Mr. Nice Guy this entire time, is finally starting to pick up on everything.
Cool side of his character.
Yeah.
Wish it came earlier. I think it could have added a lot. And like you said, it wouldn't have all hit at once at this last episode.
Just happy he was tired of getting shit on.
Right. Stand up for
It's
yourself,
about
bro.
time.
Yeah.
Maybe he's going back to Liz.
So let me ask you guys a question. Why does Rachel leave the letter? It says 4 words. Why?
I think that's her,
just leave?
because she does care about him, and I think leaving she would think would hurt more instead of like blaming it on her. In a way, that letter is flattering to him in a messed up way that her head would think that he'd be like, oh, why would she really think that? She's great too. Instead of just leaving and thinking he's shit.
Yeah.
I think that's why. I think that's the only reason.
Well, I saw it that way as well, but then he kind of is like, wait, what did she do? And Adam has always been in his peripheral. Like, he knew something was going on. So while he is just standing there and Grace and Anna are fighting, and, they're throwing each other some low balls, and Jeremy picks up on it and hears that Adam left Anna in bed the night prior and then came in the next morning apologizing. And so did Rachel. What? So crazy. What a coincidence. So instead of confronting Rachel, behind the scenes, he decides to throw a proposal out there, which,
Well, first off, he gets information from Adam. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
He gets real crucial information from Adam. Oh, Rachel told me, and Adam rolls right over like a dog. But I mean, what would you do if you're Adam? You don't know.
No, if you're Adam, I feel like you're a shitty enough person to keep lying. You're like, what? She said that? I don't know, man. What's going on? Maybe that's just me. I don't know. But, like, you don't just give it up that quickly.
Have you done that before?
No, I would never be that type of guy. Are you kidding me?
Not in
respect
relationships.
boundaries.
I mean, like,
you're
when
saying,
you were 10 and your mom asked you about,
No, when I was 23 yesterday, I probably did a white lie.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Yesterday.
gotta stick to your story.
But then double down on it.
Yeah, you double down. You don't just backpedal.
But,
That's what I've been saying about being your friend. I'm like, yeah, Nick, he's great. I love Nick. He's the best. Do you really? I love him. He's the best.
No, double down. Barely answers me.
guys, there's
Sorry.
so much
Sorry.
going on over here.
Yeah.
I can't even.
Sorry.
No, keep on going. So I love you guys, by the way.
It's going to be the Bobby and Nick after show on Twitter, the after show to the after show.
Yeah. Hashtag fartslay.
Yeah. Thanks for leaving me out of that, Bobby. Really appreciate that one. You're so nice to me.
Hey, join on. You can ask us questions. We'll take questions. We'll take requests.
Oh, God. Okay.
It's a burden, but somebody's got to do it, and I think we're capable.
I think so.
Okay.
One thing that really aggravated, though, about this episode is how quick Adam was just like 100% in suddenly. When it's been a give and take, this whole thing, like, were you not surprised at the way he was just suddenly like, nope, we're doing it, and it's going to be here, and it's this, and suddenly he's excited. Maybe it's just because he knows the last episode.
I think he can see the
light at
finish
the
line,
end.
not just the last episode, but he can see the incentive, the royal renovations,
Yeah.
the family. He talked to his, what was it, his aunt?
His
Whoever
Oh,
she
no,
was.
his grandmother.
His grandmother.
What was she
He
called?
talks
His
to her.
lovely grandmother.
The Duchess of something.
I thought it was Cromwell. It was Lady Cromwell.
No,
Lady
it literally
Cromwell.
sounded like Duchess of Sandwich.
Yeah, it did sound like
I watched
Sandwich.
it twice, you guys, and I literally wrote down Duchess of Sandwich Cromwell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was her
I
name.
wish I was British. Everything sounds so much cooler when they're
Yeah,
announcing
but
people.
Sandwich, it's like, I could do without Sandwich. Okay, let's kind of
Well,
back.
Sandwich is a place. The Sandwich Islands, they were British.
Really?
Yeah,
That's a-
Sandwich is a place. So
All right.
that would make sense.
Okay, I'm American, and all I think about is like turkey and cheese.
I'm like, is
and
there
mustard.
avocado on there or no?
It's like, what kind of bread do you want it on? I
Yeah.
don't know, multigrain. That's what I thought of when I
Ciabatta.
met her. Yeah, ciabatta. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's kind of backtrack just a moment to when Rachel and Quinn developed the plan of how they're going to destroy / make the episode. This is what I've been trying to get to this whole time. So Rachel tells Quinn she will forgive her if they make this work to basically humiliate Adam on national television. Rachel pretends like she doesn't care, but she obviously is really upset.
Yeah, I think like with anything in life, maybe I'm alone on this. I don't think I am. You don't do something or put that much effort into something, negative or positive, if you don't care. You just turn around and walk away. Other than that, if you want to see him get hurt or it's because you care for some reason, good or bad. So yeah, I think she was fully invested in this because of that. Or else she would have been like, you know what? I am done, Quinn. This is messed up. I feel like a shitty person. My life is in shambles. Peace out.
Yeah.
Not so much.
Absolutely. And she doesn't. And so basically, Quinn and her decide that Adam is going to convince one of these women to marry him. First, we have Grace. Grace pulls Adam aside and says, listen, we'll have an amazing sex life for about a year. Then it'll fizzle out and I will be this sexy, like, Latina woman that screwed you over. And then you will look good. I will look good. Let's do it.
She puts up an offer that I would think he would not refuse.
He was about to take it.
Yeah. He went and had the conversation. Listen, I talked to her. Things are different. I'm thinking this way.
Called it a candid conversation. Do you remember that? Yeah. He's like, I had a candid conversation with Grace. I was like, yeah, buddy, you did. Mm-hmm. It was candid.
And she says something like pretty, intense about her bod and that he doesn't know all that's there. And of course it entices him. And she also says he doesn't care. She doesn't care what he does or who he does, and that they will just get so much out of this relationship. He then is convinced he was going to pick Anna, changes his mind to Grace. And then we see Brittany come in.
Oh, man. I didn't remember her for a second.
I did.
Are you new?
I was like, well, because this is what I knew someone else was coming on, like, going to be coming back this episode, but I thought it was going to be one of our front burner characters that we've seen. I didn't think it was going to be the girl from episode 1 that stuck her tongue down his throat. Mm-hmm. That's all we saw of her, right? Was there another? Mm-hmm. So I was kind of like, I don't know. Okay. Do you think from episode 1 she was scheduled to do this?
I think so. The Brittany character, this wasn't in this scene, but the scene where Rachel got broken up with by Jeremy.
Like, you deserve it.
You got it, bitch. That was the funniest line of the whole season.
She said some freaking amazing lines to Rachel, because Rachel literally destroyed this girl, every part of her, on national television at 5 a.m. while taking shots of vodka, sitting there pretending to be her friend on the lawn chair. Oh my God. She was pissed. And I think basically the only reason Brittany came back on the show was to
get back at Rachel.
Yes.
Could see it.
I mean, it was...
Yeah, someone does that to a national TV. Yeah, I would want to.
I am lovable. And we saw her kind of like mimic herself to Adam, and Adam's supposed to pretend like, oh, I let you go too soon. I'm so sorry.
Too soon, episode 1.
Yeah, so terribly sorry. So we have the 3 final ladies, Brittany, Grace, and Anna, all trying on wedding dresses by some famous person, that does wedding stuff. I have no idea. And it's really funny, each girl, as far as Anna and Grace, like their take on what they want their wedding dress to be. And it really is sad. I actually rewatched the episode today where Anna's dad dies. And to think that she's the one that ends up, making it to the end is super upsetting. Like, I mean, it's upsetting.
But are you not happy that she didn't get, voted off the week after she was convinced to come back because he told, like, at least, this is like the note to Jeremy. At least now she thinks she was kind of almost worth it to the end, and it was worth it to go back and leave her family at that crucial time. If she was voted off like a week in, she would have been like, oh, I was fooled and this and that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, she's probably gonna make a ton of money now, anyways.
Be careful the bigotry of low expectations.
Yeah.
You can't just say, "Oh, hey, well, you made it to the end." Like, if you're here, you want to win.
I understand that
for different reasons.
Yes, I understand
Brittany, because she's totally not living in reality. Grace, for professional reasons and sex. Let's be real. And Anna, because maybe she was in love for a second, and then that.
Yeah.
But it's so sad because at this point, Anna is the most educated and intelligent woman that is there.
Yeah.
But she
also is the only one that knows anything about his family.
Yeah.
In a way, that was when, Madam Grandma Duchess Sandwich
that had
comes
done
in.
Drugs off of someone's.
Oh, Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
Mick Jagger's woohoo, something like that. She's in.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive.
Hey, we all got our flaws. People might think you're perfect, but
that's
even
not a flaw.
Grandma's
That's an
getting
accomplishment.
That's true.
What? It's an accomplishment or not?
No, that even Grandma's getting down.
I'm kidding, by the way, guys.
It is kind of an accomplishment, though. Yeah. I'll take the serious on that, 100%.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take it.
I wouldn't do that, but I will take the idea, the meaning behind it.
Yeah.
Okay, sure, yeah.
I loved that she was the only one that would show up for Adam, basically.
Yeah. I was actually... I didn't think anybody would. So when she did, I was kind of... First, I thought it was Mom. I don't know why. She was coming down, I'm like, oh, it's his mom. He made good with her. Then they said Grandma, and I'm like, wow, how did they get the Grandma? But clearly, she didn't give up what was going on.
Mm-mm.
You can say the word.
Can I?
Yeah, go for it. She said it.
Fart.
Slay. Yeah.
Sorry about that. Oops. Okay, so Grandma's opinion on the two ladies is that Cromwells don't marry brown people. That is an actual quote.
Oh, yeah. What was the other one she said about the other? She had a comment about the
American. She's the only American who knows when to shut the fuck up.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Fart. So she's pretty fantastic, this granny. I really like her, but she tells Adam that he needs to pick the little doll that'll pop out some pretty babies, which is Anna. And that makes total sense. I mean, I like Anna. I think what's happened to her is super messed up, and we'll get into what happens to her at the end. But, you know, her character is kind of messed up. But just going to put in a little quick news and gossip here really quickly, is that Adam, this is a perfect place. I would normally do it towards the end, but Freddie Stroma and Joanna Brady, Adam and Anna, are dating in real life.
That is big news and gossip.
Yes, and they met on UnREAL.
Yeah.
And she went overseas with him to, he's in a new movie, like a new action movie, and she was there with him. There's some Instagram pictures to show it.
I follow her on Instagram. I didn't see anything.
No, there's a photo of them. You need to go back.
Ooh.
What's the life lesson coming out of this gonna be, kids?
Don't do reality TV, do real TV, and you find significant others. That's a good. Wow.
The life lesson is don't date where you work.
Oh, that don't where you sleep.
Mm-hmm.
That I could strongly. Yeah.
It ain't gonna work out.
Well,
I mean, the chances of things working out, I think of how many people you date, but don't date the people you work with.
No, I've had experience that has never worked so well. Yeah.
As well as where you live.
Yes,
that's
100%.
also
Like
very,
in your home?
No, like
apartment building.
Okay, yeah.
Dorm room.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, dorm
building.
That would be bad also.
But you know what? Hope it'll work out for them. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see what
if
happens.
she leaves the show, I mean, who knows where the second season goes? Maybe one or both of them doesn't return, so, you know.
Well, you know, what we learned last week, me and Nick, when we were here interviewing Natalie.
Yeah.
Is
Which
Natalie
she's
Kelly,
great.
who
She's
is
so
so
amazing.
fantastic,
Yes.
is that, you know, they're basically all done. You know, she's like, oh, I don't expect to come back. You know, no one does.
That's what I'm also very excited to see where this show is going to even go, which is a topic we'll touch upon at the end for season 2 and what we think is going to happen. We do have a question from Avery, which I think we'll get to sort of towards the end. Do you want to cover it, or do you want to talk about it?
Let's do it now.
No, this is so
Let's do it right
exciting.
now.
Let's do it.
Thank
You have to
Avery.
say the swear word, though, or I will.
Do you want me to say it?
Yeah, go
My
for it.
big question, Quinn and Rachel saying they loved each other. I honestly don't understand why they love each other after all the shit they pulled on each other.
Avery didn't say the bad word we did, so, you know, no sweat, Avery.
Yeah.
That's a great question.
I think it was out of... I don't think Quinn meant it. I think Rachel meant it. That's the first thing I'll say. Agree or disagree? Cross panel.
Woo!
Disagree.
Keep going.
And I think Rachel, when she said the word, like, let me know Jeremy hurts you, blah, 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 I'll take him out, she was like, oh my God, someone cares for me. I love you. It was like that sort of like response right away.
Oh,
What?
man.
Yeah, okay. The
Hammer on the nail. Or whatever the statement is.
second thing you said was closer. I kind of like that.
Bobby, let's hear what your forever knowledge knowing. Go ahead,
Let's
share,
be real.
please.
Neither one of these people's capable of love. Let's just tell it like it is.
we
Neither one of
don't
these people
know
is
that.
Have you seen 10 episodes of this show?
Yeah, but we don't know that.
Neither
I bet
one of
you
these
season
people-
2, someone finds true
Well,
love for at least an episode or 2.
Okay, in the sense of love, like compromise and the things you have to have in a marriage or a relationship or whatever. Even friend love, like real love between Quinn and Rachel as friends, as, you know, sisters almost.
Romance, bromance.
Yeah. These two are not capable of love. They're manipulative. They produce everything on and off air. They produce each other, and they don't even think twice about it. The fact that, just like Avery said, the fact that they could do all that shit to each other and then say, I love you.
Oh,
They're not
Bobby.
on a sister relationship. The first, remember, the last season of Everlasting that we didn't see on UnREAL, the season before the show started, remember how Rachel left the show? Remember what she did to Quinn? These two are not sisters. These two were enemies.
What did she do to Quinn? I mean, she took the car.
Show, to the whole show, including Quinn. These two were diametrically
I'm gonna let
opposed.
you finish.
Diametrically opposed.
I want to hear what you have to say, and then I'm gonna.
The love thing is bullshit.
I want to hear what your thought is because I have something to say about this.
Okay. I don't think either of these women have really ever experienced love, and they have a lot of distaste towards other others and each other. But I think the relationship between the two of them is the closest either of them has ever felt to love.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and I'd also agree that, Bobby, your idea of love is different in your life than what theirs is.
Oh, for
People
sure.
can love each other, whether it's for lust, for friendship, for anything. They can say, I love you, and it can mean that.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about these two do not functionally have the skills to have any kind of relationship, friendship or romantic, to truly love and give and share and compromise and do all these
I'm
things.
going to disagree strong, and I want you guys to tweet at us to tell us if you agree or I'd like to know
Please
what the
do.
people think. Do you think that either of them are capable of love? If so, tweet me at Nicholas Grava on Instagram or Twitter.
Well,
would
you
love to
know,
hear that.
tweet me at SamD43 if you think that these two women have struggled to find love their entire lives, but have somehow messed up in a way, found it in each other because they are both so damaged.
Well, and use the other D word, desperate, because look at where both of these two women. No, let's be real. Look at where both these two women are. They both lost relationships in this show, and lost. I mean, obviously, it was kind of by their own doing and some of what they wanted. But they're both empty and alone by the end of the show, and they're sitting there and they're like, well, we got each other, and it's like, well, yeah, you do.
Yeah, it's
but
a messed up sort of love, but it's love.
Healthy. Well, I would argue that messed up love is not love.
Okay, and you can argue that to your
Well,
blue in the
yeah.
face.
And I would be right, so I wouldn't have to be blue in the face.
Then you're
but-
going to end up alone, Bobby
I never thought
DeMuro.
I'd quote.
Fine, but at least I'll know that I'm alone because I understand love and I didn't find it.
I'm about to quote
This
Kate
escalated
Jewelers up in
really
here.
quickly.
If your heart's open, love will find its way in.
And
Yeah.
do you think that Rachel and Quinn's hearts are open?
No, and we're gonna move on from the
Yeah,
topic because you're wrong. I'm
they are
right.
quite black. Their hearts are just dark
Yeah.
and like just breaking literally in their hands because they are old.
Before you love another, Nick Grava,
You have to love yourself.
you must love yourself. There's not a lot of self-love. No masturbation joke here. I mean actual love. Not a lot of self-love going on this show.
Well,
Actually,
actually,
there
there
was a lot of
was some
self-love.
self-love. Yeah.
in the beginning.
That's
in the
why I
trailer.
said not the masturbate. Never
You
mind.
said not happening in the
Well,
show.
you can't say self-love and not think of the M word, but whatever. Okay, so Rachel decides to turn on the, she's going on her dark side. This girl is literally losing it. As much as we'll get to what I'm about to say, I hate that Jeremy goes and kind of tattles on her to her little mommy.
Oh, I got something to say about that.
Yeah, but the girl is losing it.
When she woke up, are you talking about when she wakes up next to Quinn that morning?
Well, just this entire episode, you see her literally look like she just got out of the sewer.
I thought she was going to go on her break. I thought she was going to do something crazy. And when Quinn was being so content about it, I was like, Quinn, not only are you worried, but you have confirmed, from last season, that she will do something like batshit crazy. So you should be a little bit more concerned about her well-being.
Maybe
But I
that's
guess
why
this is what
she's there.
she needed to do what she did. Because, no one's saying, no one's saying could do it as well as she did it in that little... that thing where you say your sins?
That
I
was
forget
super
what it's
messed
called.
up
The
and
confessional.
brilliant.
The
Yeah,
confessional.
I'm Jewish, so I was totally fine with it. But I don't know how you guys feel about it. Anyone out there that actually uses confessionals for practical purposes?
My roommate's Catholic. I'll have to ask him.
Yeah, ask him how he feels about that because Rachel uses it to manipulate the two that are getting married, which are Adam and Anna. Adam ends up choosing Anna. Shocker. And basically it's because his grandmother tells him to. And
Hold
that
up for Grace
she'll
when he
fit
said
in.
when he chose Anna. Again, amazing at I was
love
this-
Grace
she killed it.
so much. She killed it, and
I was broken. Bobby, don't. Boy, you laugh as if
I'm sorry, was I disagreeing with you?
It felt like a disagreeing laugh.
Oh, guys.
Sorry, go ahead.
Put a little partition
big
up.
group hug after this.
Go on, Sam.
We'll
What were
take
you saying?
Instagram pics.
Yeah.
Cut this guy's mic.
Oh, like
both
they
your
did in the
mics.
show. Mm-hmm. Cut to the. Did you mean that? If you didn't, they did, and that was clever. Because I loved seeing Chet there with the walkie in his hand, just having no idea what to do.
In front of Brad.
In front of her, he's like, "Do something, change," and it's like, "Go down, go up."
What is awesome is that what you're talking about is Rachel and Quinn's master plan. Oh, little geniuses. Those little weirdos. Gotta love those little weirdos. I love, that is still, I would love to be called a little weirdo. That would honestly be just a huge compliment for whatever reason to me. I think it's
question if
super
someone would
cool.
classify me as a little weirdo
Yeah,
sometimes.
little
I think
weirdo.
All of us could be.
So, Rachel and Quinn, decide to screw Adam over. And as my favorite part of the episode was when Rachel confronts Adam in the confessional that he does not know that Anna is in the one right next door, and she goes girl crazy, crying, "Why? What did I do?"
Did you guys at the moment believe her? Do you think this was real, or do you think this was part of her plan? I thought it was real.
That's the question I was going to ask you, is what percentage of that was Rachel being real, and what percentage of that is Rachel the producer?
I think it was completely a 50-50 mix.
Okay.
It's the only way you're going to get that.
I think it was
an actor.
40-60, because after Adam dumped her, she was super pissed. So I think that 60% was just faking it.
Yeah, but when she was like...
Oh, she had boogers. She had boogers coming out of her nose.
That was
at
least 40. That's at least 40 picking up there. I guess that's true. Because if you were like... Yeah.
Girl had some real boogies coming out, and that's how you know she was really upset.
Or she's a complete sociopath,
well,
and she was faking it 80%, which is the feeling that I got. I mean, obviously, the first time we see it, you're fooled because you know what's happening. But when you think about it, I'm like, I think she might have been significantly faking it. Was there a piece of her that really felt that? For sure. It wasn't 100-0. Right. But I think it was like 80% fake. Or manipulative, I should say.
It was kind of awesome when he walks out and you guys all right?
I'm checking if people tweeted us.
Just get off your Twitter. Right. We're talking here.
We're talking, guys. We're having a really serious conversation.
Everyone's saying that I'm right. Specifically, they said, Nick, you are right.
Seriously? No, I don't see anyone said that.
Nobody said anything yet, but
Okay, so Rachel throws a big BF. Yeah. She throws a bitch fit with Adam, and his reaction is kind of awesome because he's like, I can't. After the wedding, she's like, but what if you have babies? If you fall in love? No, he leaves.
He bounces.
He bounces so fast. And to me, every single ounce of, oh no, Adam's maybe good. Maybe Adam really loves her. All that nice stuff I've been saying the whole season, that was gone after he did that.
Well, maybe this is different from girls and guys' perspective, but from my perspective, no matter what the history was, when she flipped out on him, I would be, Adam, get the hell out of there. You're gonna get hit with something.
That's not the place to level and justify.
Yeah. No matter what you say, it ain't gonna go through. Get the hell out of there and live to fight the next day.
Go film a live TV episode.
Yeah, just go get married. Do anything but this. Go get married. Do anything but sit in that confessional.
Well, he tried to get married, and unfortunately, Anna was on the other end of the partition listening to the whole thing, and she looked so gorgeous. Her dress was so beautiful, and she was crying, and Rachel opened the door saying, I did this just because, I want to be a good friend. And that was obviously a lie. Anna knew that, but she also knew that she was being produced and that she had just given everything to this show. She's a lawyer. She's not stupid. And she was a first ever everlasting runaway bride.
Loved it.
Yeah, I loved it.
I did think once Rachel stepped up and was like, well, we have our... And she was very confident in saying it. I was expecting her to change her mind and walk in and just ruin their whole plan, because I was like, Rachel, you're too confident up there right now. Be careful. But luckily, they just got a killer last shot with her instead.
Yeah, they really did. And that last shot / monologue as Anna was walking up the stairs leaving, and Quinn was like, Anna, why are you doing this? And they had this exchange, this visual exchange, the two of them. Anna was pissed, but she knew. She was like, fine.
Let's do this.
Yeah, she wasn't going to go out like a loser.
No.
Or a villain. Girl has some class. And she gave a killer monologue. Really killer.
Yeah.
And she says that it's not even that Adam is a cheater, which is kind of a stupid thing to say because, it's the Smashler and whatever. They're hooking up with a bunch of other people. Right. But he's stupid. That's what she said.
Which is true.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah. Let's be real with
Absolutely.
that. Which is... do you guys think, now the next two scenes are basically our last two scenes, the scenes with Rachel and Quinn, and then Jeremy goes to the house. My question is, do you think either of these scenes were changed or altered once they found out they were getting another season? Did they ever do any reshoots? You think, for Jeremy going up to the door?
100% Jeremy going to the door.
I thought so too. That was the one thought I had of I don't think they filmed. Why you wouldn't do that if you thought it was ending season
you know what I think they probably did, and I think a lot of shows probably do this. They probably have alternate endings, not the full thing. It'd take too long to film.
That's a good
just
point.
The cameras on that last Quinn and Rachel scene, they've got 5 different scripts, and they say, here are the 5 different things you're going to say. We're going to to pick one. Maybe it's not 5, but whatever it is, we're going to pick one. When they got a season 2, they went back into the editing bay 6 weeks ago, and they were like, okay, we're going to use option 3 or whatever.
To make it work, to make us hold us in for now. I'm like, he went to the mother, the batshit crazy lady. Like, what's to come?
Yeah, but what's going to happen? I mean, we're going to see next season her in a mental hospital, because that's really not what I care or want to see. To be honest, that mother episode was my least favorite. I didn't care.
That mother episode was not my... In the whole scheme of things, it was pretty irrelevant, it felt to me, but I was intrigued. I think the mother plays a very interesting character.
I'm curious with you guys where you're at on this, because I got this feeling, and I don't know why. Jeremy, in that scene with the mother, that's not a wholesome visit for him.
Bad intentions.
There's something else with him going on there to go to the mother. He knows more than we know that he knows, not just with their history, but something else. There's something weird about Jeremy in that scene.
Didn't he? What was the quote when he was saying when
she
he
did it again?
Proposed her?
She was like,
sick.
And he was like, no,
She's
didn't Jeremy say something like, "And I will not let you do it to somebody else"?
Oh, I will not ever let you
is
do
his
this to
plan.
somebody else. Not only is this over, but I'm never going to let you do this to
I think
someone
this
else.
is that him doing that exactly.
There's something else there. I mean, obviously there is, because there's going to be a season 2, but there's something else there. I'm
What
like,
is going to happen?
Well,
in season
let's
2?
get into predictions then. What we think
Let's
is going to
do it.
happen in season 2. Want to take us off, Mr. Nicholas Grava?
I would absolutely love to.
Go for it.
Thank you for asking me. I think we're going to obviously see it's going to be the Quinn and Rachel show. I think 100%. I honestly think Chet will sort of fade to the background, maybe as honestly just like a reoccurring guest star. I don't think he'll be series regular. I think it'll be them two, and they're going to revamp everything. I think they see what worked with the show and what didn't. And so we don't know as a viewer really what they think worked or didn't, but I think they'll put together the pieces that did and, go with that and run with it. To make it an even, I really do think the show will get tenfold better than what it was first season. I did like the first season. So that's what I expect. And Jeremy, I expect to ruin Rachel somehow, some miraculous way.
do your prediction first. I have a current event I want to talk about. You guys haven't talked about Chris Harrison yet, have you?
No,
but I know about
Good, because
it.
I want to talk about that. So do your prediction first.
Okay. I think that Jeremy might start to turn into Rachel, to what he hates. Because once you throw someone under the bus, you think it's going to feel good, but then you turn into that person. I think that's going to happen. I think that I watched Paley Setter. They had this awesome panel there last week with all of the UnREAL cast, and I think some characters will return. And I think Chet being one of them. But I also think that Quinn saying to him in this episode, like, you're going to die one day. And he's going to say, well, what a great way to die. I know it didn't happen this season, but, Chet's going to have another scare.
Yeah.
Is what I think. And I think perhaps Anna could possibly be the next Bachelorette.
Oh, that would be amazing.
I mean,
love Anna.
Think about it. That monologue, like I said, I'm so obsessed with it. When she came up the stairs, she was like, he's stupid. She needs to find someone smart. Maybe they'll find one for her.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
I like that
agree.
Jeremy turning into Rachel. That's a little Red Sox Yankees kind of thing. You become what you don't want to be.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Red Sox
okay,
win.
Chris Harrison. What the fuck? Listen, you legitimize this show entirely when you talk about it
Absolutely.
unprompted. What are you thinking?
Unless he was...
Somebody asked him.
Yeah.
But your show's massive. This show is not. We like this show. It's not a huge commercial success. It's on Lifetime. It's on a channel that a lot of people aren't going to see in primetime. Why are you talking about this show?
So many different reasons.
So stupid.
Maybe it's just we're now talking about him when none of us would have or should have or ever would.
I read somebody in Variety said something that the host of Everlasting on this show is 100 times more charismatic than Chris Harrison's ever been.
Listen.
And he's jealous, which is not a bad point. But you legitimize everything about this show when you deny it so hard. How many times have we seen politicians deny sex scandals? I would never do that. 2 weeks later, boom, the text message comes out. It's that same kind of idea when you deny it so hard in public, when you try to preempt it so hard. This isn't the way it is. This isn't the way The Bachelor is. That show has no idea. Whatever, the exact words he said were. I'm like, Chris, now we've always asked how real UnREAL is. Chris, you told me the story. Now I know. Now I know it's 100% real.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy. What are you thinking?
Gotta agree.
What the hell are you thinking?
Yeah.
I mean, dumb move of the week, man. Really dumb move of the week. Is it gonna affect?
I think smart. People are talking about him. People are following him. He's building up his followers.
But that's the thing. The Bachelor wasn't hurting.
But he could have been as a person. Maybe he doesn't have such a fan base. Whatever.
I think he was doing okay.
Well, I think Chris Harrison is and will be doing all right. Okay, guys, please let us know where we can find you on the interweb because we're going to talk about this until season 2 starts. Thank you very much.
You guys can follow me at Nicholas Grava, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Bobby?
Don't follow him. He's terrible.
I'm leaving.
I got your phone, so you can't go anywhere. I'm on Twitter at Bobby DeMuro, but I also have Nick's phone, so if you want to tweet him, I will answer your tweets for about the next 10 seconds until he takes it away.
Oh, that's so sweet of you, Bobby. Of course, you can follow AfterBuzz TV at AfterBuzz TV on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, the works, and me, Sam Davidson, at SamDavidsonEntertainment.com, and on Twitter and Instagram at SamD43. We will see you guys next season. Thank you so much for tuning in.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.